Welcome to History with Master Squishies. In today's video, we'll be covering the history of the M3 GMC, we'll be going over who made it, the design, what nations used it, some of the battles it took place in, and how it performs in-game. To start off with, the M3 GMC, which means M3 Gun Motor Carriage, was an American tank destroyer designed by the United States Army Ordnance Department in 1940 to 1941. It was produced by the Auto Car Company in 1941 to 1943 with a total production number of around 2,202 units. Initially, it was designated the T-12, but when it started production, it was redesignated the M3 GMC. The M3 GMC was designed and produced after the United States Army studied the effectiveness of the German campaign against the French and British during the fall of France. One of the most notable reasons was the use of self-propelled artillery and self-propelled guns. However, at the time, the United States Army didn't have a vehicle to fulfill this role. This led to the M3 half-track to be used as the base, then an M1897A5 75mm gun would be mounted onto it with a protective gun shield, and thus the M3 GMC would be born. This would prove sufficient for a short time, but later the M3 GMC would be replaced by the M10 GMC. The M3 GMC would lead to other variants, such as the T19 HMC or howitzer motor carriage, which was mounted with a 105mm howitzer used by the US Army, and, from what I can find, would lead to the T12, which was a 105mm anti-tank gun, M3 GMC, used by the US Marines. I'm not sure the reason for the T12 being both the name of the M3 GMC 75mm and the name of the M3 GMC 105mm, but from what I can find, that's the name that the US Army chose. If someone knows why they did that, or if it has another name, let me know, but I haven't been able to find any other information about it. The M3 GMC was equipped with a fixed superstructure mounted with a 75mm M1897A5 gun. It had a maximum of 15.9mm of armor and a minimum of 4.6mm of armor. It had a crew of 5, a weight of 9.1 tons, a length of 6.24 meters or 20.46 feet, a width of 2.22 meters or 7.29 feet, a height of 2.49 meters or 8.17 feet, and a max speed of 47 miles per hour. Next, we'll move on to its operational history. The M3 GMC was used almost solely by the USA, but did see 170 be sent through the Lend-Lease program to Britain. The M3 GMC saw action in the Philippines, Africa, Sicily, Italy, and France. In the Philippines, the M3 GMC was used in the Provisional Field Artillery Brigade against the Japanese when they invaded the Philippines. Their main role was direct covering fire and anti-tank support. The Japanese also captured a few and used them against the USA. In Africa, the M3 GMC was used by the tank destroyer battalions in the North African campaign. The M3 GMC was designed to ambush tanks, but due to poor tactics they proved inadequate at the Battle of Sidi Bouzid and the Battle of Kasserine Pass. However, at the Battle of El Ghoutar it proved successful with around 30 German tanks destroyed, but it did come at the cost of around 21 M3 GMCs. In Sicily, Italy, and France they took part in some of the battles, but were being phased out and suffering numerous losses. The new M10 was steadily replacing the now inferior M3 GMC. Finally, we'll move on to how it performs in War Thunder versus how it performed historically. In War Thunder, the M3 GMC is fairly well done. The armor is slightly off with its maximum being 12mm, but the minimum is right with it being 6mm. The main gun is right with it being a 75mm, but I'm not sure why they chose to use the M1897A4 instead of the A5 variant. The speed is nearly right with it being 45 miles per hour instead of 47 miles per hour. All in all, the M3 GMC is well done. I think the gun shield armor should be up-armored to 15mm, and I would like to see some of the other variants added such as the T19 HMC and the Marines variant of the T12. On a side note, I think they should add more self-propelled artillery and give them a designated artillery role instead of just being self-propelled guns. But let me know what you think. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, squish that like button, subscribe, and let me know what you want to hear about next. I'll see you in the next one.